Thanks so much for coming today. My name's Jen Becker. I'm Vice President for Offshore Wind at the New Jersey Economic Development Authority. We're really excited to have you here today and to talk a bit more about the employment opportunities at EEW located in Paulsboro and training programs that are available at the Gloucester County Institute of Technology and some other schools in the region. So we have a pretty short program for you, and then we'll open it up for Q&A. So first up, I'm going to ask Kathy Uhas from EDA and the Wind Institute just to give a little overview about offshore wind, and then we'll go into what's going on at EEW. So thanks so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Kathy Uhas, as Jen said. I'm with the Wind Institute, and I'm here to just give you an overview of the offshore wind economic development in New Jersey. All right, so at the EDA, we are charged with growing the state's economy, bringing high-quality jobs to towns just like yours, and we are also working on fostering the offshore wind sector in New Jersey. So we are leading we are the ones leading the state in terms of bringing jobs in the offshore wind industry to New Jersey, including Paulsboro. So why offshore wind in New Jersey? Well, we have a lot of potential for it. We have a lot of people. We have the population, right, that lives in the state. We have the high wind speeds along the coast. And we definitely have the land area off the coast to build the wind farms. So what would we be manufacturing in New Jersey? Well, we hope to be manufacturing a lot of the components that go into building these wind turbines that you see here on the slide. EEW is specifically manufacturing monopiles, and it's at the bottom part of the wind turbine. It's the piece that's yellow. That's what they're manufacturing in Paulsboro, and that's what we're here to talk to you about today. The manufacturing process and the jobs that go along with it. So we have three different types of ports that we're establishing in New Jersey. One is a manufacturing port, and the one that we're focusing on here today is the one in Paulsboro, which is where EEW is located, and they are manufacturing monopiles, or large components to wind turbines. And these types of large components need to be brought out to sea at some point, and they cannot be traversed by rail or car or truck, really, because they are so large. So this is why we have to have the ports for this. The second type of port is marshalling port, and that is one that maybe some of you have heard of. It's a New Jersey wind port, and that is in Lower Alloways Creek. And that is where these big components are going to be assembled, and that will also be manufacturing there. And from there, those large components will be brought out to the ocean. But then we have some smaller ports that will be found around the state. Those will be used for operations and maintenance. And we have two so far that are in development in Atlantic City, and those are being run by Ørsted and Atlantic Shores, and they are the offshore wind developers in the state currently. So there are almost about 200 different types of occupations that can be linked to offshore wind, and there are different phases of offshore wind development, and those are siting and permitting, manufacturing, construction and installation, as well as operation and maintenance. But what we're focused on here today is the manufacturing, and this is where you have the jobs that we are going to be focused on here today in terms of training that GCIT is offering, so welding, industrial painting. There will also be jobs for electricians, and these job opportunities in manufacturing and construction do not need a college degree, but they do need training, maybe some kind of certificate or an associate's degree. So the training programs we're going to be talking about here today, as I said, are at Gloucester County Institute of Technology, and there are welding and painting classes. And then there are also classes that will be starting up in Camden County that will be focused on welding and painting, and then also in Salem County that will be focused on the same. So you can always get more information at our website, which is listed on the slide. And I believe next is EW. Harleen, are you presenting?
I think
yes. So. Okay, thank you.
EEW, American Offshore Structures, is set up to build monopile foundations for offshore wind.
EEW, American Offshore Structures, will be the leading provider of wind turbine monopiles in the U.S. Our newly built 70-acre facility in Paulsboro, New Jersey is nearly ready for production.
The building that we're standing in will be the final assembly hall for the monopiles. This entire building is constructed to hold just 2 monopiles. That's how big they are.
Between its port and 6 buildings, this facility will be able to complete all stages of monopile production, from importing raw materials to the welding of the steel pillars. The SubArc Weld building is in its final stages of construction and will house state-of-the-art welding equipment.
So we will be getting the first parts of the monopile later this year, and we will be starting production toward the end of 2022.
Our facility is in the prime location to transport monopiles to offshore wind farms up and down the East Coast. EEW AOS is the backbone of the largest industrial offshore wind investment in the United States, which will create hundreds of high-paying jobs.
For the balance of this year, after we complete this factory, we're going to continue hiring and training our work staff, and then we will begin production on a limited level, and we'll eventually ramp up into full production here at the facility.
We are working in coordination with local New Jersey technical schools and colleges to offer students training opportunities to help fill the nearly 500 job openings at the facility. In our final stages of construction, we are looking to strengthen our supply chain and take some new suppliers on board. We are excited to work closely with our partners, local schools, and local businesses in our effort to help create clean energy. EEW AOS, welcome to our world.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Harleen Oberoi. I am the Quality Director at EEW AOS. Just a show of hands, how many Paulsboro residents do we have here? Have you guys driven by the port?
Yep.
Yes.
Have you seen the monopiles?
Yes.
It looks pretty, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, so who is EEW? The company was founded in 1936. We are a German company. Our headquarters are located in Enterbrook, Germany. We are the pioneers in the offshore industry for almost 20 years. The specialized welding that we do is called submerged arc welding. 2 things I want to clarify. This is not underwater welding. People think these are going in the ocean, and a terminology like submerged arc welding, a lot of questions I get asked is, do we have to weld underwater? No. Actually, welding happens because these structures are so big in high towers upstairs. Very well automated project this is. We have 6 production sites. Paulsboro facility will be number 7. We have over 2,000 employees worldwide, and to date, we have built over 2,100 monopiles for all over the world. The company overall, EEW, has participated in over 50 offshore projects. A couple of projects are, and already EEW has not, but wind projects, this is going to be our first domestic production project in New Jersey. The first monopile production was done. As you saw from the video, we started production in Paulsboro in January of 2023. We are 8 months in. Our current workforce is approximately, we deviate between 80 to almost 100 employees right now. When I go through the presentations, you'll see phase 1 is coming close to completion right now. We're going to start phase 2. End of phase 2, we are looking the port area be close to 500 jobs in this area. This is, if you have passed the monopile, this is what a painted monopile looks like, and we just finished our first painted monopile in July, and we have 2 behind it that are already completed. So we have 3 completed monopile on our yard currently. Next slide. U.S. offshore projects. So $100 billion was announced for offshore wind projects on the East Coast. Federal Inflation Reduction Act. This is to encourage developers to have local content. We are highly encouraged to find local suppliers for our needs. State incentives supporting industry. And we are positioned very well. The Paulsboro port is positioned very well to supply all up and down the East Coast. From the Delaware River right to Atlantic City will be our first project. AOS, next slide. Give you a little bit detail on what we do in Paulsboro. We make 12 meters in diameter. So just to give you an idea how big these things are, I know I saw a lot of hands raised that they passed through our facility. These things are 40 feet in diameter, almost 2 stories high. These things are huge. They're 400 feet long, longer than a football field, just to keep things in, and 2,500 metric tons. So our throughput, we plan to produce initially 50, and we plan to go to almost 100 a year on these. So for this thing to happen, this project was started a long time ago. I just saw the mayor walk in. He can talk about the port planning. 350,000 square feet of meters in leased land we have there. $400 million in investment from New Jersey on the port. And EEW actually has an exclusive wharf. So when you saw in the video sections coming, the sections are currently coming from Germany, and we are getting them off the port, and the load out will happen approximately this time next summer when they'll go out when the developers will come pick these monopiles up. This is what our 2 currently, the buildings look like. The first slide you saw what we projected our buildings to look like, and this is currently from the wharf side, the back side. The first big building is where our welding happens, and the second with the 2 doors is where our paint and blast happens. So we have 2 bays to blast and paint these monopiles. Next slide. Production started in January of 2023, and this is happening at AOS in Paulsboro, New Jersey. The first weld was put down by our AOS welder in New Jersey. Currently, this is what the inside of the hall looks like. So you see we can work on 2 monopiles at one time. We can reconfigure these lines to work on, we have a lot of secondary welding happening, so we reconfigure these lines to our needs as we see fit. But imagine the size of this building. We can fit 2 of these in a building. So these things are huge. And the buildings are huge. So that will complete our phase 1, and we are getting very close to finishing our phase 1. We have 2 buildings in full operation, 3 monopiles coated, 5 monopiles welded. So things are moving at a rapid pace. In phase 2, we plan to do 4 more buildings. Roll bending, and roll bending is probably, if you saw the SubArc Weld building, you thought that was big. Roll bending is even bigger than that. We're actually thinking we'll buy the plates and actually make them into the rings that you saw that makes a monopile. Then we'll go have segment welding, plate cutting and welding, and a second paint and blast building. I'm sure if you're following this wind industry, our projects, we are slightly delayed. So still not a year late, but we are slightly delayed in starting construction on phase 2. Projection to be completed phase 2 sometime in 2025. I was driving out of the site today, and I saw steel getting delivered for our coating building number 2 on site today. So things are moving. So this is when we are all done. This shows you the rendering, what the whole site is going to look like. So we, just to give you an idea, our first project is for Ocean Wind 1, and the developer is Ørsted, and they've ordered 50 monopiles. the loadout happens all together. So it's not like we finish one, we ship one, we finish one, we ship one. We have to keep all 50 on site at one time. And when the loadout happens, when the season is right, they'll come pick it up and start installing. So a lot of land development has to happen around, and New Jersey is taking a big role in getting the land developed around our facility. So this is what the projections are that's what the facilities are gonna look like after phase 2 is completed. Next slide. So what kind of jobs are we looking for? I think a lot of you guys are here. See what are we looking for? What positions are we looking for? Submerged arc welding operators, manual welders, and I will go in a little more details on that. Painters, coating inspectors, and blasters, support laborers, weld engineers, NDT inspectors, and a thing I want to add is that we didn't add is maintenance staff. We are really looking for a maintenance staff. A lot of our equipment is very unique to us, but which we will provide the training, but we are looking for high-end maintenance staff because compressors are identical from facility to facility, so that's another thing that we are actually looking for. I won't take much of the time, but you'll see Christine come up and talk about the GCIT program. I see Mr. Black here from the painting program. So just to show you, we have teamed up with local schools and colleges. So if you say you want to become a welder or you want to become a painter, there are courses available, which they will go into detail. Currently at GCIT, but Camden is going to be coming online. Salem is going to be coming online very shortly as well. Welding test, if there are any welders, I get this question asked, what type of skill set are you guys looking for manual welders? Submerged arc welders. We are looking for required to pass a 6G weld test. The target completion time, it's a pipe with no backing, around 2.5 hours. We have 4 levels of welders. This is the top-notch level of welder we are looking for. I can go into details if you guys have questions on the weld test at the end. If you're a welder, do come up and ask. Painting. Our plane and blast operation also required qualified painters, blasters. Painting is only performed by painters that have been achieved internal certification. So we have a full test that we do before we bring them online as painters. There is a course at GCIT as well for painting and for submerged arc welding there to get your hands, but the course is just, let me just be very specific, course is just to start, just to understand. There is a lot of hands-on training that's needed at our facility still. So the coding proficiency test is carried out on site by us. And so is the welding test, but once you pass our internal requirements, we do have to get third-party testing for the particular welder so they can actually weld on our production product. So I think that concludes my part. I think we'll take questions at the end. Christine is next.
Good afternoon. My name is Christine Datz, and I am the Director of Student Services at GCIT. I'm sure, is everyone familiar with where the Vocational School is located? On Tanyard Road, right next to Rowan College of South Jersey, the community college. But we're a vocational school, and we have been there for, over 1974. And we provide training for both. We are a high school, but in the evening, we do offer post-secondary classes, training classes and apprenticeships for adults that are looking to join the workforce and learn a skill. That just tells a little bit about GCIT, but I kind of just summed that up for you. So as Harleen had said, we have partnered with EEW. This is probably, we're in year 2 to 3 of helping train workers so that they can apply for jobs and be interviewed by EEW. As she had spoken about, we do offer specifically just welding, and we call it the coatings class, which is the paintings class. We offer weldings level 1 and 2. Obviously, you would start with welding 1 if you don't have any welding experience at all and are interested in becoming a welder. And once you learn welding 1 skills, you're able to move on to level 2 if you would like. However, after taking welding 1, I would think EEW would be interested because you have learned enough, and then they can take the training over from there if they choose to offer you employment. But you can see the cost and the dates and times that are involved in the training courses at night. I did, if you missed it, I did bring catalogs. I gave everyone a catalog who had already entered. But all this information is in our catalog, so feel free to peruse it, look at it. We do offer some payment plans for the tuition, and there are going to be some people speaking about possible financial assistance if you would need that for tuition. And you could change the slide. This gives a little info about SubArc Welding. As Harleen said, it's not underwater welding. It's just a different type of welding system that's used on the monopiles. So in your Welding 1 course, you will get a little bit of taste of the SubArc course. But we do offer SubArc training specifically if you already do have some skills in welding and want to just learn a little more about how to SubArc weld. And again, the tuition could be done in payments or assistance if you qualify. The SubArc welding course is a little smaller than our traditional welding course student-wise because there's only one SubArc welding machine, and it's really hard to train 20 people at a time on one machine. But the SubArc courses are shorter in length. They're only about 4 weeks. So we can train, a group of 5 to 7, and then 4 weeks later train another group of 5 to 7. And again, there's our sessions for the SubArc trainings. This is a coatings class. This is the painting class. I happen to have Mr. Franklin Black, who is our instructor for the coatings class, and he'll be here to answer some questions after we're done if you really have specific questions about painting. The coatings class and the training involved for painting isn't quite as rigorous and intense as a welding. However, both areas are in desperate need to have training and employment at EEW. I know they're looking for both. So the difference is if you've done any kind of automotive painting, it's a little bit more like that in a collision industry. But the type of paint that's used because of the elements that the monopiles are in with the weather and the salt water and the air, it's a different type of paint, and they can speak more on that because they're the experts of it. But in the next slide, you'll see the sessions for our coating class. So you don't have to have as much prerequisite training as you would as a welder as to be a painter. So, and again, Mr. Black will be here to answer any specific questions and I will too as well. So, and I think that's it. This is Alicia Thompson, who will be able to give you some information about assistance and help with paying tuitions and trainings.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Thanks for giving me a moment. That's some pretty interesting stuff up there. There's some really great opportunities right here in our backyard for employment with the wind industry, and I wish you all the best. If you're sitting here and you're thinking, I'm not sure if that's quite for me, or maybe this is for me, but not for my friend at home or my family member at home, we do have other training opportunities here at the American Job Center. We are also located right between GCIT and Rowan College of South Jersey. So we're right off Tanyard Road, and we can help with training opportunities you do have to go through eligibility process like most things, but feel free to come in or get some information from me. I'll be in the back here with some information, and I could definitely answer some questions if you have them. Not eligibility related, but how to do so, or where to do so, or what do we do. We do have training opportunities in all different programs, from medical to truck driving to technology, all across the board. These were some really exciting opportunities, and I cannot wait to see the facility because I heard it's pretty cool. But again, if it's something that maybe you're not into, or you are into, but maybe think somebody else might be interested in another type of training, we're here. There's just some grant information. I won't go over them right now, but it's up there. It's a federally funded grant from the Department of Labor, so that's where the grant comes from. It's administered by the Workforce Development Board in Gloucester County, and there is a maximum grant of $5,000, which means if the program you're trying to do is $7,000, it would only pay up to $5,000, but we can get into that later. Okay, next slide. Eligibility for our grant program would be dislocated worker, which means that you're out of work, you're laid off from employment due to lack of work. So if you're on unemployment, that would consider you to be eligible. Or if your household income is below the lower living income standard. So if you receive any type of assistance, food stamps or anything like that, you could also be eligible for the program too. Okay, next slide. These are the eligibility things that we would ask for, the required documentation. I won't go over all of them, but it's simple documentation such as, your birth certificate, driver's license, photo IDs. We can get into the whole income eligibility thing if you need some assistance or you need help with applying for the training grant. I could tell you what is exactly needed. Next slide. Okay. And so you have to lack demand occupational skills. So if you do have, a college degree or a degree, say as a CNA, but you want to go for something else, we would have to talk about that because that wouldn't be really a lack of demand occupation. The training grant's not for everybody. Like I said, you do have to go through the eligibility process, but I'd be happy to walk you through that. Again, I know this program is about EEW, but we just wanted to let you know who we are, the resources that we do have, and a lot of people still don't know that we exist. So if you need any type of assistance, like even training grants, or we do help with resumes, interviewing skills, we do have recruitments and different things at our facility too that you might be interested in. So I'm in the back there. I have some information for you of everything that we have. We do work with ex-offenders and veterans too, so if you have any of that, we have specific people that work with you. And I'll have the information in the back if you're interested. Yes, so if you need assistance to pay for the training programs that are with GCIT, you can come into the office and I can give you the contact information. It wouldn't be me, but I definitely pass your information along for that. Okay, hey, good luck to you. Thank you.
So we're going to open it up to Q&A in a second, but just wanted to bring up Mayor of Paulsboro for a few words.
Thank you, appreciate it. You're here to talk about jobs and stuff, so I won't get into it deeply. I want to thank Harleen and the rest of you folks for being here. This is a life-changing decision for all of you. Look, I'm not just standing up here to blow smoke. I've dealt with these fine folks. They are great. They are top-notch. They are A1 in what they do, what they present, what they say. So it's an opportunity for you to get a great job, great benefits. Yeah, I'll push Paulsboro a little bit in that we've got a lot of houses coming up for sale and apartments being built. And look, I worked for the mobile refinery here for almost 40 years. Great being a 16th of a mile from where you live and where you work. You don't have to travel through cool expressways and things of that nature. So please take advantage of this. Ask the questions you need to ask. If you saw something up there and maybe that's not going to be allowed, ask the questions. Remember, the stupid question is the one that you don't ask. So take advantage of this. Take advantage of this fully. You're going to wish you did. So welcome to Paulsboro. Thank you all for being here, and I'm going to turn it over for any Q&As to whoever's doing that.
Thank you so much. Maybe if our speakers can come up here, that way you can quickly come to the microphone if a question's directed to you.
I just want to introduce Sean and Krista.
Sure.
just I forgot to, I was going to do it at the end, Sean and Krista. These guys, training coordinator, and Krista is our training coordinator, Sean is our recruiter for us. So please, these guys are the ones, if you guys are looking for a job, do fill out the application. Sean will definitely reach out to you, any skill sets. I forgot to introduce them at the end of my thing, so that's why I wanted to do that right away. All right, thanks guys.
So we have lots of time for questions. Don't be shy. Yep, in the back.
What's the salary for the painter and the SubArc welder? What do they average?
So welder goes from welder 1 to welder 4. The price, the salary ranges from 25 to 35.
Per hour, right?
Per hour. Yes.
I feel like I saw another hand up over here.
He's got one up over there.
Oh yeah, sorry.
I had a question at the end of your the job training. I didn't hear if you needed grant money to go to GCIT. It's not through them. You go through somebody else.
No, I'll take your information. So if you are eligible for that, yep, I'll definitely take your information and we'll pass it on to the people that do that.
But it's handled at your organization. Yes. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I could just clarify. And Alicia, maybe you can just make sure I say this right. So you would apply through Alicia's program to see if you qualify for the grant funds. If you do qualify, there are certain things you do have to follow through with while attending class. I know we report attendance, if you're on time, quality participation in the program. Because if you're not showing up to class and if you're not following what the grant requires, they cut you off. So, just so everyone's aware of that.
And the grant is lost then too.
Yes. Yeah, they won't continue to pay your funds, your tuition. It's really all you have to do is show up and participate, and it's good.
Questions? Jeff, go.
Being that it's a port, as it is, will an employee require a transportation worker's identification card to be employed at the port?
For now, yes, we are a TWIC card site holder. Plans are to put fencing around the port, so not every employee will require a TIP card, but as of today, every employee hired at EEW needs to go through getting a TWIC card.
And is it available to gain the card through EEW, or do you have to go to an outside entity to do
It's
that?
an outside entity. It's a government entity. We will reimburse you the cost of getting the TWIC card, though.
A local person who couldn't be here today asked, how many jobs are you hiring for, and what's the time frame on that? He just specifically wanted to know a number.
Welders and painters, we are looking for them now. Welding position, Krista and Sean can give you an open number, roughly.
12 right now.
12 open positions for welders and about 10 for painters. Yes. About 10 for painters, immediate openings. And these numbers go up on a daily basis. So that's our current count as of today.
How about any of those other jobs, or are they not available yet?
Oh, they're all available. Maintenance crew, I think. About three. I think, Krista, you should answer this one.
Yeah. So we have about 3 maintenance positions open, about 12 welder positions open. We said about 10 painters, but it just keeps growing. If you have skills, you're qualified, please fill out our information. We will call you. We are looking for anybody. If you're not qualified right now, maybe down the road you will be. Our qualifications, our requirements are going to change throughout our process. So please apply. We're definitely taking everybody's information.
How soon, if we're qualified, could we expect to be contacted to come in to be tested? Or?
Immediately. No, if you're qualified, we're definitely doing reach out right now. Absolutely.
Check on the website to see if,
please.
Anything.
Please. We have a form out there with a QR code. You can scan the QR code. It goes right to our Indeed site, and you can apply right on the Indeed site.
You guys have an application out there, right?
We do. Yeah. We also have an application. Please fill out the application. We'll get your information from there. So we have a lot of avenues. In the hall, exactly, with Sean.
I just wanted to say one more thing, Jen. I didn't mention in my presentation for the training at GCIT, the catalog that I gave you has our website. If you go to the GCIT website and there's a little tab at the top that says Adult Programs, that's where you can find all this information as well as how to register and how to pay your tuition as well, just in case anyone was looking how to do that.
Oh, yeah.
So I see that the welding technician course finishes in May. Are you guys still going to be hiring? Because I know you guys need to fill these slots immediately.
Yes.
And start the course, and then May comes around, we got the certificate, you guys aren't hiring.
Sure. The question was, are we going to be hiring in May when the GCIT program finishes? We're always hiring. So, I mean, we have 12 positions to fill immediately, but it's just going to keep growing. Absolutely. I mean, we hope to get to about 500 to 1,000, people that we're hiring. So it's just going to be on an ongoing basis. There's no shortage of jobs. Yeah.
When I get the callback from my information,
sure.
You say you had other opportunities. I was just wondering, like, do you have labor opportunities that I don't need, like, training in the
Sure,
per se,
absolutely.
but as far as like I'll get the training. In the meantime, I'll still be a laborer in the
Absolutely.
at the job.
Yeah, we definitely have a lot of labor. The question was, do we have labor opportunities? We do have labor open positions in our welding area and our painting area. It's specialized skill. I mean, the salary, sure. The hourly rate's a little lower, but we're definitely hiring for those as well, for labor positions. Sure.
I just wanted to just reiterate, if you have friends or family that maybe live a little farther afield but are interested in training programs, we are working with the Vocational Technical School in Salem County, and then the Vocational Technical School in the County College in Camden County to also offer training programs that help provide the skills that are needed for jobs at EEW. So definitely, working around the region to give pathways into the employment opportunities from offshore wind. Did you have another question?
Yeah, I just wondered, when are all your buildings going to be completed? Like, when do you think you're going to be completely built out?
All phase 2?
Yes.
We are projecting, again, a lot of depends on funding, so these are just projections, so 2025.
Jen, the other sites, Salem and Camden, are those schoolhouses available and up and running now for this fall semester?
So both at Salem and Camden, the welding, like more traditional welding, is available. They've been having those courses for a long time. They're working now to incorporate the specific SubArc welding modules into those. So those are coming soon. They're not quite ready for enrollment, but they will be soon. But if you're just wanting to get in the door on more your traditional type of welding, those classes are available now.
Hello, I just want to say something. How many of you, I heard the word job used a lot today, and I don't think that everybody knows the difference between a job and a career. A job is something that you go to that you don't like, okay? A career is something that you go to, which I've been going to my job now for 22 years, and I love it. So when you're deciding what you want to do, make sure you want a career.
Any other questions? I think everyone's sort of around for a little while, and there's certainly some coffee and water people can ask more. But if nothing else, then just thank you so much to everybody for presenting today and for all of you for coming out. So thank you so much.
Thinking about a new appliance or an LCD TV? Don't think twice, think Weiss. Weiss True Value has a full line of LCD TVs plus a great variety of appliances. And of course, hardware items like True Test paints, Master Mechanic tools, electrical supplies, key duplicating, and Rug Doctor rentals. And for repairs on screens and windows, look no further. Weiss True Value, from making keys to selling appliances and LCD TVs. Don't think twice, think Weiss. 39 West Broad Street, Paulsboro.
For everything, there's a season, and a time for everything under heaven. A time for sharing, a time for caring, a time for remembering, and a time for parting. When that time arrives, let Beth McBride Foley and Thomas D. Foley at the McBride Foley Funeral Home help you in your time of need. Offering a wide variety of funeral services from cremation to traditional, McBride Foley Funeral Home has been helping families with the loss of a loved one with over 50 years of combined service. McBride Foley Funeral Home, 228 West Broad Street, Paulsboro.
Multi-policy discount, paperless discount, paid in full discount, homeowners discount, safe driver discount, chipmunk family reunion, someone stole the nuts, squirrel jail, justice.
Countless discounts. Now that's progressive. Call or click today.
Rizzo Family Chiropractic Center in Gibbstown offers pain relief with a difference. Using specific chiropractic adjustments, Rizzo Family Chiropractic will get to the root of your problem quickly. Bring your headaches, neck, back, joint, or limb pain to Dr. Karen Rizzo. If you have recurring pain, chiropractic can help. Rizzo Family Chiropractic can relieve many sources of pain without extended treatment and ongoing therapy. Give your family the gift of caring professional pain relief with a difference. Rizzo Family Chiropractic.